This is CVM Live, the evening edition. Thanks so much for staying with us, and a special welcome to you on the internet at cvmtv.com. We also remind you to download the CVM TV app from the Google Play Store. Here now are our major stories. Dr. Peter Phillips accuses the JLP of mashing up the JUTC after the PNP fixed it up. The two main political parties trade more barbs on the campaign trail, and there's a caution about children and the eating of cherries. I'll have the details after this short break. Thanks so much for staying with us. The opposition, People's National Party, is accusing the Holness administration of negatively affecting the government-owned bus company, as well as other entities. As Marjorie Gordon reports, Dr. Peter Phillips believes the Jamaica Labour Party is causing the country more harm than good.
Speaking to comrades in Majestic Gardens Friday, the PNP leader, before lambasting the JLP for its statements that people hired by the PNP administration for the bus company were political appointments, gave the history of what he said was a ramshackle system. According to him, every time the PNP administration positively addressed the concerns of the JUTC, negative steps are taken by the JLP government.
No, today, after we fix it up back, they are back down to 200 buses and a little bit going out. And now because they want to lay off people, then bring this foolishness about political appointees. It is not true. And if they believe it's true, then it's because they have no idea how to run a proper company. They don't know what they are doing.
The PNP leader called on the JLP government to stop what he calls the victimization of ordinary people trying to earn a living. He cautioned that with this attitude, the country will not develop, as he encouraged supporters to use the JUTC as one more reason to vote for Angela Brown-Burke and the PNP in the upcoming by-election.
To vote for Angela and raise the majority will send a signal to the country that we say enough is enough and we need a good quality government in the country. We can't take it no more.
The issue of crime was also brought to the fore and blamed for the deepening poverty over the last 18 months. For Peter Phillips, crime is costing the country in more ways than it can afford.
So if you want to know what is making Jamaica suffer, it is the JLP government, and their failure to control crime is causing hardship in communities like this. If you ask what is causing poverty, it is their failure to make the economy grow.
Marjorie Gordon, CVM Live.
And the People's National Party has revealed that its candidate for South East St. Mary, Dr. Alexis, could take legal action against the youth arm of the Jamaica Labour Party, Young Jamaica, over the contents of a press release. The PNP is stating that, contrary to the assertions made in the press release, Dr. Alexis was not granted a scholarship through the Jamaica-Cuban program, which over many years has afforded Jamaicans the opportunity to study in the neighboring country free of cost. The party asserts that Dr. Alexis studied at his family's expense and, to his credit, has spent all of his professional years serving the Jamaican people in the public health system. The PNP statement notes further that Dr. Alexis has instructed his attorneys to pursue legal redress in this matter, as he and his family have been hurt by the false and defamatory charges contained in the press release. The lawyers are demanding that Young Jamaica, issue and publish a full and complete retraction and public apology to Dr. Alexis in terms to be approved by him. Young Jamaica is required to respond by October 17. Meanwhile, Generation 2000 G2K, the young professional affiliate of the Jamaica Labour Party, has rubbished the claims by the PNP Patriots that Dr. Norman Dunn was not duly nominated. G2K says the PNP group misrepresented the Constitution of Jamaica in media reports by falsely suggesting that candidates should declare businesses arrangements with the government before the nomination period for the election. G2K adds that the Constitution is very clear that notice should be published in the Gazette within 1 month before the day of election, and that this means a publication can be made up to the day before the polls open. Generation 2000 is advising the patriots to seek professional advice before making mischievous statements in the media. Minister of Finance and the Public Service Audley Shaw has called for the establishment of an emergency fund to aid in the recovery of island states severely affected by recent hurricanes. Minister Shaw made the call in a series of high-level strategy sessions with Caribbean leaders, the multilateral development institutions, private investors and civil society in Washington, D.C. The minister says these unprecedented natural disasters clearly require extraordinary and equally unprecedented responses from the combined resources of the multilateral development partners. He called on participants to focus on specific actions to help recover from the hurricanes and to increase resilience from the predictability of more storms. The Jamaica Fire Brigade will focus on citizen empowerment during its Fire Safety Awareness Week in the last week of October. CVM Live's Nicole Wilson has highlights from Friday's launch.
There has been a significant reduction in bush and building fires over the past 2 years due to the Community Fire and Life Safety Education Program of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, JFB. This was revealed by Assistant Commissioner of the JFB at the launch of the Brigade's Fire Safety and Awareness Week on Friday. For this year's Fire Safety Awareness Week, the JFB plans to roll out the program in several other communities across the island due to the success of the program so far. All this is aimed at citizen empowerment.
And the objective is to really increase the public awareness and access to fire prevention information. The strategies that we have employed, or that we will be employing, is to promote fire prevention education and safety in communities through liaising with community-based organizations.
Martin said the Community Fire and Life Safety Program is tailored for each community.
And when I say community by community basis, it means that we would have analyzed each of these communities, we would have gathered data, and we would have developed a program in particular for that community based on the risks that were identified. And you would have understood that based on the geographic location and the type of community we're talking about, each program would have been different.
Commissioner of the JFB, Raymond Spencer, who brought greetings, emphasized the brigade's commitment to empowering citizens.
We are going to be involved in every thinkable initiative that will empower the public in their prevention and mitigation against fires.
The week, which will run from the 22nd through to the 28th of October, will include a national church service, exhibitions and disaster risk reduction workshops. Nicole Wilson, CVM Live.
Jamaican children are known to eat their full share of fruits when these are in season, and especially if they have direct access. There's a danger, though, not from excess, but from what is swallowed sometimes. It's a kind of discomfort that could land a child in a pediatrician's office. They are red and juicy and hard to resist. Teasing the palate and more challenging, it seems, the farther out of reach they appear. So imagine the delight to a child who is able to pick away at these fruits, almost touching the ground. Okay, so Doc, it is cherry season. Which child does not love those nice, juicy red fruit? But what could possibly go wrong, though?
Well, what we've seen over the years are unusual cases where children ingest or swallow not just the fruit around the seed of the cherry, but the cherry seed as well. And after ingesting a number of these, the cherry seeds actually become swollen, especially in the rectum, and become impacted, meaning that it is constipated, not with hard stool, but actually with cherry seeds. And the child is unable to pass stool. And it is a very uncomfortable situation for the child. Most often, we have to actually place a patient under general anesthesia, meaning put them to sleep in order to remove cherry seeds from the rectum.
There goes a red flag medical concern, and because one child is one too many in the emergency room with this complaint, parents need to be aware.
Most often it's the younger children, as in, around age 5, 6, maybe 5 to 10. And what you find happening is that they will complain to the parents that they're unable to pass their stool, and it's extremely uncomfortable. And then they will have diarrhea, meaning the soft runny stool is now coming around the cherry seeds, and it tends to have a very, very terrible smell. And that type of diarrhea kind of makes the area around the anus very sore.
The doctor stressed that it's not to be determined that your child's inability to pass real stool is because he or she swallowed cherry seeds, because there are other causes of constipation, hence the need for professional intervention.
We delve into the history. You may hear that the child has been eating a lot of cherries. We'll actually examine the child and place a finger up the bottom. We will feel the cherry seeds, a number of cherry seeds just sitting there, and the child is unable to pass them. And some children actually pass like a small amount of the cherry seed. The parent might say that they saw a few things looking like cherry seeds coming from the bottom.
Shocking that a child can swallow such hard and horrible tasting thing. Mm-hmm. And it's not just a little, right? Not just one or two.
No. It's many. It's funny enough, a lot of cherry seeds. You wonder how many were they eating. Maybe it was over a number of days, or maybe it's in the same sitting. We don't know. But we do know that swallowing a large number of these cherry seeds will definitely lead to impaction.
Find out more in CVM Live Sunday. The police are seeking your help in finding Donald Dave, otherwise called Dave, of Lincoln Avenue in Kingston 13, who has been reported missing. Dave, who is 35 years old, is said to be of an unsound mind. He is of dark complexion, slim build, and is about 6 feet tall. Reports from the Halfway Tree Police are Dave was last seen at home about 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday. The police say he was in the company of his mother on their veranda. However, when the mother went to another section of the yard and returned, he was nowhere to be seen. Donald Dave was dressed in short jeans pants, grey t-shirt, and a pair of multicolored sneakers. Anyone knowing his whereabouts is being asked to contact the Halfway Tree Police at 926-8184, Police 119 Emergency, or the nearest police station. The police did not have a photograph of Mr. Dave. This is CVM Live. We go to a break ahead of news from overseas.